Get that on. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Women Together. Welcome to people who've been with us many times, our regulars. Welcome to those who are here with us for the first time. If you don't know me, I'm Karen, and I'm part of the Women Together production team, and I'm usually in the background holding the space for us. And Antoinette can't be with us today, and she's really sorry and sends deep regrets that she's missing us. And we're just thinking for the 3 years that we've been meeting at least once a week, this is our first time that we're missing Antoinette. But it is my great honor and privilege to get to introduce you to Adriana. Adriana is going to be our guest host today. Add her here. So Adriana was a presenter for those who've been with us for the full 3 years that we've been doing this. She was a guest presenter with us several times in the first months of the pandemic. And then what many of you probably don't know or remember is that actually Adriana was part of our production team from the beginning when we were doing events. And it's hard to remember back that long, but we used to actually have events in person. And the online was sort of another option. And Adriana was part of that production team. So she's part of Women Together from the beginning. And I'm just so glad. Thank you so much, Adriana, for stepping in today. And I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Karen. Hi, everyone. It's such a pleasure and joy to be here with all of you today. Like Karen said, my name is Adriana DiFazio. I've been with Women Together a while. I think at least since 2019 now, when we used to be in person. And one of the last times I actually joined was leading a session to the same topic and theme of today of reconnecting to our roots. So as folks trickle in and come into this online space, please feel free to introduce yourself, say where you're calling in from in the chat. And then I also love to share a little bit more about myself too. So I'm a meditation teacher and facilitator based in New York City. I'm currently studying to become a Buddhist chaplain, pursuing a Master's of Divinity in Buddhism and Interreligious Engagement at Union Theological Seminary in New York City. It's actually where I'm calling from right now. But my background is specifically focused on Buddhist practices or eco-theology regarding the natural world. So how does practice, contemplative, ritual shape our relationship with one another, with non-human animals, and also with the earth? So this idea, our theme for today, reconnecting with our roots. So when I joined us last through these, Women Together sessions, we did a practice for reconnecting with our roots that was focused on connecting to our lineages, our ancestors, whether that be our ancestry, our familial lineages, the lineages of our wisdom communities, whether that be our spiritual practices, or simply just the lineages of the communities that we find ourselves in. So this being one of them. But for today, I wanted to introduce another way of perceiving or practicing reconnecting to our roots. So I say this from this place of recognizing some feelings we may have about just simply being human in this world. So with all the joy, the happiness, the connection that we may feel, we may also sometimes feel quite hopeless too. If we turn on the news, we may just simply feel that in that moment. And so while my work specifically deals with helplessness, that deals with the ecological crisis, I wanted to offer a teaching actually from a Woman Together friend, Kate Johnson. She was a guest teacher for one of the first in-person conferences from her book, Radical Friendship. And so Kate says, We're going to pop this into the chat as well. She says, when we feel like our world is too much for us to handle, we can plug into a force that is powerful enough to meet the challenges before us. All we need is a method for tapping in. It may be a visualization, a song, prayer, chant, or some combination of the above. It may actually mean going there, to wade in the water, to lay on the earth, to lean against the mountain, or to gaze at the clouds passing through the sky. When we put our bodies in position to feel held, supported, and illuminated by something bigger than us, we can sense, learn from these qualities, absorb, and embody them. So this quote that I just read is from Kate Johnson's book, Radical Friendship. So I've just put that quote in full into the chat. But Kate here is speaking to this idea that perhaps when we feel hopeless, perhaps in moments of despair, or grief, or aimlessness, that perhaps we aren't so alone in that reconnecting to our roots here, our lineage to the earth, can be a source that we can absorb, sense, learn from the quality of the earth, and then perhaps maybe begin to embody them as well. So I'm going to guide us through a meditation practice today, based in a mindfulness of breath, of settling our bodies and minds. But then I'm also going to guide and offer us this visualization through this passage of Kate Johnson of inviting yourself to bring yourself someplace in the natural world in which you have felt some sense of a force that is holding you that's greater than yourself. So this could be something as simple as like your childhood backyard, you lying back in the grass and just looking up at the sky and feeling that sense of awe and wonder. Or this could be, some amazing natural feature that you most recently came across or saw, in a national park, standing at the Grand Canyon or seeing Niagara Falls or something fantastical like that as well. Or this could be something like just a beach that you go to or frequent frequently, or a nature preserve that you go on afternoon walks, and some place in the natural world in which you have found supportive in some way in which you can, or you have felt in some sense of absorbing the wisdom of your environment. So as we begin, I invite you to take a comfortable seat or finding a comfortable posture fully in your space that's supportive to you. So if this means lying on the floor, it's totally okay. This means being seated in a cushion on the floor. It's also great. Or if you're in a normal chair like myself, that's also wonderful. If you feel more comfortable positioning yourself away from your camera, facing away from your screen, that's also okay too. But I invite you to take a posture that feels relaxed yet alert, where you can begin to feel the support of the earth beneath you. Let's begin by taking a few deep breaths, taking a long and deep inhale. And a long exhale, releasing. Again, inhale, filling your lungs, feeling oxygen nourish your body, mind, and heart. And then exhale, releasing, letting everything go. One more time, taking a deep inhale. And exhale, releasing. So beginning our practice by simply allowing our bodies to arrive. Depending on where you are in the world, you may have already had a very full morning or first part of your day. And we may feel like we have a tendency to only function from our shoulders up. So giving ourselves simply an opportunity to remind ourselves that we have bodies. And allowing some of that energy of your mind to trickle down and redistribute. Like water falling over a glass. And as you begin to settle, I invite you now to visualize yourself in that place in nature that you feel like you can tap into a force as powerful and wise, but also compassionate, loving, can cradle you in its embrace. Begin to visualize yourself there in detail. Are you standing? Are you sitting down? Or lying on the ground? What do you see? 360 degrees. What's around you? In this environment, can you also take note of what you smell and hear? How does your heart feel in this place? Allowing yourself to feel into that. And as you visualize yourself fully and completely in this place in the natural world, allowing your body to feel held, supported, and illuminated by this environment. And then through the simple act of your radical presence, sense learning from its qualities, absorbing and embodying them. And then from here, we'll settle into a simple mindfulness of breath, shamatha vipassana practice, in which we'll simply feel our bodies breathe. Settling your mind, body, and heart, supported by the presence of the earth. And that whatever may arise within our practice, whatever feelings, whatever emotions we may have, that the earth can maybe hold it all, that we don't need to negate or reject any part of our experience. But rather that the earth is holding us, holding us in her embrace of loving kindness. Feeling your body breathe in and out. Continuing to feel your body breathe. And if it's helpful for you, you can continue with the visualization wherever you are in the natural world. Imagine yourself practicing there too. Almost as if the environment is breathing with you. So as we begin to close our practice together, you can simply let your mind rest in spacious awareness, no longer exclusively focusing on your breath, but letting your mind and heart simply rest. And then in your own time, you can formally close your practice by either opening your eyes, inviting some movement back into your limbs, fingers, and toes, and then bringing your awareness back completely and fully into your immediate space. So thank you so much, everyone, for going through that practice with me. And so we have some time now to meet in breakout rooms as we normally do. But for today, I wanted to offer us a very specific listening activity. So I offered us this teaching from Kate Johnson, this idea of, reminding ourselves that we can feel into the power of something that's bigger than us, this specifically being something in the natural world or the earth. But sometimes that's much harder to do in practice in the moment when we don't necessarily feel like we are supported. And so Kate Johnson, again from her book, shares a really beautiful listening activity that I absolutely love, and I think does a really good job of perhaps allowing us to make that connection between moments where we may not necessarily feel supported and rooted, connected to our roots or our sense of support, and then making a connection of, oh wait, perhaps maybe I am. And so in your small breakout rooms with someone else, I'm going to invite you to share a time in which you felt like perhaps you couldn't make a difference, that you felt helpless. And so this could be something small, or it could be something perhaps a little bit bigger, and it's up to you what you feel comfortable sharing in your breakout room. But then once you share this time that you felt like you couldn't make a difference, you're going to ask yourself and answer aloud, what do I love? What is my skill set? And can I do something small? And so I put those instructions in the chat right now for all of us. And it's okay if you don't make it to every question. But as one person shares, the other person sits and listens fully and completely with mind, body, and heart. So really allowing to be an open, spacious container, the other person in your breakout room who is sharing. And then whenever that person's done, having the chance to switch and the other person share time as well. Are there any questions before we go into our breakout rooms? You can pop them in the chat. For those of you who are joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for joining. It's a pleasure to be with you. And then for those of us who are here on the Zoom, you'll have 20 minutes to go about this activity with each other. Yeah, so Karen and can pop us into breakout rooms right now. But otherwise, if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat for us too.